Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Let's Talk with Crystal K. And today we are doing Ask Cheryl. So we got some more of your letters. You guys are sending a lot of good feedback. So keep sending it in. We definitely appreciate it. So let's go ahead and get into another episode of Love and Relationships. Ask Cheryl with a C. Hello there, Miss Cheryl with the C. We're back again getting some more relationship advice from you. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
All right, well, let's get into it. So I'm going to read out the scenario from what they sent in, and then, of course, we're going to get your expert opinion on it.
Okay.
All right, so red flags. I'm seeking advice on which red flags I should work through and some that I should walk away from. I have a young lady that I'm interested in. We talk for about a year off and on, but sometimes she's very inconsistent with communication. I talked to her about it, but we're still in the same boat. Should I keep trying or walk away?
I think to determine whether or not you should keep trying, how invested are you, and how much of an effort is she putting forward? Personally, for me, I don't do well with inconsistencies.
I don't think anybody does.
I don't, because I kind of feel like I need you to be all in or not at all. The in between, it just does not work for me, because if we're working toward a relationship, I don't want to keep going back to the, are you really into me? Do I need to keep doing this? So, I have a problem with inconsistencies. I just believe that if you're really interested in this person and you're trying to get to know them, that that you shouldn't be dealing with the elementary part of getting to know somebody. Hot and cold doesn't work for me.
So what do inconsistencies let you know? What does that tell you? If somebody's inconsistent, then what are your thoughts?
The cliche is he's just not that into you. I kind of feel like that person's not. I mean, because you gauge it according to how you feeling about somebody. If you know that you're texting them, you're calling them, and you feel like you want to talk to them daily, yet they're going ghost on you several times a week.
Kind of make you feel some type of way, right?
Yeah, that's kind of like a 70-30, 60-40. Yeah, I need it to be reciprocated. Now, other people, they can probably operate like that. And my favorite saying is, if you're not married, you're single. So you should still be exploring the possibilities. That might be the reason for the inconsistency. It depends on the type of understanding that you have. Is this exclusive and this person is inconsistent? Or are you still like exploring, getting to know each other? So it kind of depends on, what stage of the dating and getting to know one another they're in. And the fact that the listener is saying, I've talked with her about it and I'm still seeing the same pattern, that's kind of an indication that, okay, we're really trying to make something happen here because we've had a discussion about it. And you're still getting the inconsistencies. That's kind of one of the first red flags of somebody meeting your need. You've expressed a concern and they're still not meeting your need. Who knows how many other needs are going to be met with the same, with that same inconsistency. So
Same energy, yeah.
yeah, same energy, exactly.
I get you.
Yeah.
So he also, in the listener also talked about red flags. And what are some of the red flags? What are red flags? And is this a red flag? So can you just give us a little bit about what red flags are and what we should watch out for?
So I'll just say this, the fact that this person wrote in about an inconsistency, red flags are different for different people.
Right.
It's not a one size fit all. That apparently inconsistency, lack of effort is a deal breaker or a red flag for somebody. So the fact that this person wrote in about it, that is one of their red flags. So they're going to have to decide how to address that. Red flags in general, I mean, it depends. I don't know if we're talking about personality trait red flags, or are we talking about um, how you would interact if you're more serious and you're dealing with family members. Um,
So give us examples of both.
okay, so um, I would say, you know, I always red flags in general. Um, I mean, it depends. I don't know if we're talking about personality trait red flags, or are we talking about um, how you would interact if you're more serious and you're dealing with family members. Um,
So give us examples of both.
okay, so um, I would say, you know, I always look at how people interact with their family, especially if you are a family oriented person and the person you're with, everybody has family issues.
Right.
And it
Can't pick them, can't choose them.
exactly, and it does not matter really what type of issues you had with family members. I really believe it depends on the outlook and your willingness to still look for the good in familial relationships. Some people have had a bad experience and they're just ready to put everybody in that bag. And if you are a family oriented person, you got to figure out how their take on family is going to work with your family dynamic. So, you know, that's one issue that you would have to look at. Um,
So let's, because I kind of want to go into that a little bit more, because I know what you're talking about, but I want to make sure everybody else does. So you're saying basically how they deal with their family will kind of let you know how they would be if you guys started a family, and if they were. What are you saying there?
I am basically
Because
saying
what does that have to do with the relationship? How does that?
well, it will pose a problem if you have somebody who is very family oriented,
Right.
and you enjoy being around your family. You have a positive outlook about your family. However, you meet somebody who has just had a bad family um, experience, and they have just decided family's bad.
So that's a red flag.
I don't want to deal with family. I don't want anything to do with family. Opposed to them saying, I had a bad experience with my family. I don't really have a close relationship with family, but I have not lost my belief in family.
Okay.
Those are two completely different. I mean, if somebody is just adamantly against family and you enjoy family, you got to kind of figure out how you all are going to maneuver with
Mhm.
that.
Okay. Okay. Get you. That breaks it down a little bit more for us. And then you also said there could be some personality traits that are red flags.
Well, there can be some personality traits. You can have some people that are optimists,
Mm-hmm.
pessimists. You can have people that are just like on the spectrum of it. They are staunch about the way they believe, whether they're pessimistic or optimistic. That may pose a problem, especially if you are a real positive person and you're always looking at the glass as half full,
Cool. Yeah.
and you got this person that's looking at it half empty. How does that dynamic work?
It doesn't.
Like, you know, and then you may have people with a personality trait where they're always criticizing and critiquing something, and that just at the end of the day, you may not want to be around somebody that's like that. And then why is their outlook so bleak um, on life and on situations and how they handle stuff? So you're not going to want to be in that atmosphere all the time. I believe that when we're dating, most people continue to see one another because of the way that person makes them feel whenever they're in their presence.
Mhm.
That is the immediate draw that people have. So if you're not making me feel good when I'm around you,
Why do
what,
I want to be around you?
what
Why
are
do
we,
I want to continue this?
what are we doing?
What are we doing?
Exactly. So that would be a red flag.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what advice would you give to this listener, this young man?
If this has only been something that, well,
He
this
said
has
a
been,
year.
it's
Off
been
and
about
on.
a year.
Off and on
You
for
know
a year.
what? My advice, obviously consistency is important to you. A year, you probably should have dropped this 6 months ago.
So it's overdue.
It's overdue. It's long overdue.
I do want to ask you this because it kind of brought up a question to me, backtracking to us talking about personality traits, and kind of because you gave examples of people being opposite.
Mhm.
But do you believe the opposites attract?
I do believe opposites attract.
Mm-hmm.
But here is the thing about opposites attracting. I believe you can complement each other, where someone can be stronger in this, and and you can complement each other. Um, I think that there is a place in the middle where anybody can meet. I just believe in relationships. Um, there's give and take, and there's a lot of compromise. And so you wouldn't have to compromise if you weren't opposites. But I also think if you meet somebody that's just like you, that's kind of boring. How do you grow? How do you learn? How do you get something from another person? So, yeah, um, I think opposites do attract.
Okay. But are they really opposites?
They're not. No, they're not really opposites. I just think it goes back to that thing where I love the way I feel when I'm with you, and because of that feeling, I'm willing to give. So I think more so, yes, opposites can attract, but I also think those two people have to be amendable, if you will.
Commendable. All right.
Exactly.
So, thank you for your letter. Thank you for sending that in, but you should have dropped her 6 months ago.
Exactly.
You still talking to her, go ahead and let that go. Tell her goodbye in a peaceful way because it sounds like that is a red flag for you. It sounds like you kind of already knew what the situation was, not knocking you or anything, but it sounds like you following and trusting your gut is kind of where you should go. But definitely do want to thank you for that. Thank you, Miss Cheryl with the C, for giving us your input. Thank you for your feedback. If you guys want to hear more from her, if you're looking for any relationship advice, if you're having any struggles, remember you can always write in, and she's here.
I'm here.
She is here. But send me all your letters, anything like that. You can definitely do that via Instagram. You can also send it to my email, and I will drop all the details below in the comments. So definitely do that. And I just want to thank you once again.
You're welcome.
This is Let's Talk, and I'm Crystal K, and I'm with Miss Cheryl with the C.